Are you sure?
Any tips for better hit confirming? Man, I don't know. Yeah, for better hit confirm, for like generally any skill like that where it's not a knowledge thing and it's just like I know what I want to do, but I don't know how, like I can't be good at doing it. Like playing certain characters can help. Tubby is right if you want to try out another character, because you know the skill sets that you learn are going to be determined by what character you play to an extent, for sure, right? You know, a great example of this, talking about the 1,000 hours of Ladiva again, is that I for a long time really didn't learn like how offense worked in Granblue because I didn't have to, because Ladiva has one of just the easiest plug and play 50-50s in the entire game. So I didn't really have to learn about delay teching, stagger pressure, you know, frame trap throw baits, like all like rotating these options. Cause like my thing was always just plus frame into am I gonna command grab or am I not gonna command grab? So playing different characters can help. But outside of that, I would say for any of these things where again it's not a knowledge thing. I know what I want to do. I want to hit confirm better. I just physically can't, or I'm having trouble doing it. For that, I would just say spend some amount of time hyper fixating on it in your gameplay, even if it's the detriment of everything else, right? Spend play like a whole ranked session or a couple of ranked sessions, like until you feel like you're able to do it with like a lot of focus, where priority number one is, you know, I have, I'll give you a good example, right? Catalina. A lot of these Shoto-style characters have this, but Catalina, it's very important for Catalina, for example, to notice when her mediums are counter hits, right? Because on counter hit medium, right? On counter hit medium, she gets that, whereas on non-counter hit medium, she doesn't, right? So it's a really big combo for Catalina. It's like so much extra damage you could get compared to like if you just never hit confirm, you're just gonna do this like all the time, and it's pathetic. So like I would just, you know, play some Catalina, play whatever character you play, have like what you're trying to hit confirm in mind, like do it in a structured, active, intentional way, right? Like my, you know, as Sandalphon, I want to make sure that if I ever get a counter hit 6XL on a crouching opponent, you know, I'm always gonna hit confirm that into close H, for example, right? Like have set out your goals and what you're trying to hit confirm into specifically beforehand, and then just hyper fixate on them. You know what I mean? Even if it's to the detriment of your neutral, if it's to the detriment of how you block, how you run your pressure, just, you know, half of my mental stack is built towards I'm gonna hit confirm these things. For me, at least, it tends to help. Because then, you know, as you get more and more and more and more practice doing that with active focus, it slowly starts to fade into a thing that you can just do habitually. And then you can kind of put it back on the back burner, and you're going to lose a little bit of it, but you're going to get like 80% of that like success you've been getting hyper fixating on it while still being able to play the game normally, right? I use audio cues to hit confirm. The idea is you expect to hit it, and if it doesn't, then you don't confirm. You react to hitting it by expecting it to. That is true. A couple different things to talk about there. One, yes, using audio cues to hit confirm is really important. Your brain can react faster to sound than it can to visual cues, which is unironically why Jita's pan is banned and why a couple of those other weapons arguably should be too. Though I think they might make the same noise on block and on hit. Jita's might be the only one that makes a different noise on hit, but like the sound effect for... Right? The sound effect for the counter hit, I believe, is different. No, it's the same, actually, no. For a counter, it's the same, but for, like, hit versus block, it's very different, right? Like, if I, right, close time gets blocked, you're like, shing, shing. Where if it hits, it's more of, like, a slappy sound, right? So, again, like, using that block versus hit sound effect is important. You can also try to engineer a situation, even if you get blocked, you're at least safe. Yeah, but I think, while that is nice and a privilege to have, it's still, I think, important. There are going to be times where, like, it is important to be able to actually hit confirm those things, you know? Like, if you get the hit confirm, it's going to be way better, and if you don't, you're going to be missing out on value. You could try to engineer situations where you aren't doing that, where you don't need to hit confirm, but I think what you're doing there is you're avoiding learning the skill, and that's good for the short term, right? In the short term, you'll get more success that way. In the long term, I think that hurts you. Because what you're doing there is just avoiding having to learn anything by setting up a situation where you can cover up that weakness of yours. Because sometimes, you know, not every time that you're like trying to hit confirm is something that you like set up in advance, right? I see what you're saying. It's a separate thing. That, like, if someone says, you know, hey, I want to get better at hit confirming, how do I do that? I don't think a productive answer is don't get better at hit confirming. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not wrong. What you're talking about isn't like not harmful, but I don't think it's helpful. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, so like, I'm trying to learn a skill. How do I do it? What if you didn't? Thanks for the advice. Yeah. But yeah, also, yeah, playing, like, if, I don't know who you play, but playing a character who's also more reliant on that is genuinely really useful, right? Play, like, a lot of these sort of, like, mid-range, Shoto-y style characters rely on that shit a lot more, right? Because they're, so, like, playing like a character like Catalina, like Siegfried, like Percival, like Gran, something like that. EX Narm is a big one as well. Yep, EX Narm's a really big one. That shit could be helpful too, right?